Hello everyone, welcome to Artistically Married, where art and opportunity collide. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman.
And Brienne Steinberg.
And yeah, today we have my high school friend, Erica.
Hi.
And Jason Lupish.
Hello, how are you?
Great. How are you guys?
Really
Great.
good. Yeah.
This is the first time we've done a quad.
Yeah.
The first
well, it's
Artistically
awesome.
Married and Artistically Married.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
We're always looking for friends like this
Cool.
that are also artistically married.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys went to high school together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys fit right in? You look like you just fit right into Eden.
We did not.
Stuck out like Thor songs. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we were the weirdos, I think. Were we the weirdos?
I think so. I'd
Maybe
like
they
to
were the
think so.
weirdos.
No, I don't know. I was the only kid with a mohawk for a long time.
Yeah,
So.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's probably like why me and Kit liked you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, yeah, we want to hang out with that person.
It's got them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you guys end up at a Christian school?
We were raised in it, I guess.
Christian households.
Yeah, it was very close to home. I could just walk there. But
Ah.
also my very best friend was going there and I never got to go to school with them before. So it was like an opportunity as well. So I was like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not going to some other school where I don't know anyone. I'm going to go somewhere where my best friend is going. So
Okay.
yeah, it was great.
Are your parents Christian?
Yes.
Okay. So it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mom was a teacher there. So
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading some of your bio stuff and I'm like, wait, her mom was a teacher? Her mom was a drama teacher. And Jake's like, she was our drama teacher. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's great. She must be so proud.
yeah, I think so.
For sure.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you're like, same thing, right? Like finding an occupation in the arts. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
I
it.
mean, both my dad and my mom and my dad are both very artistic. So like
What's your dad do?
a musician. He's a he's a trumpeter and
Artistically married.
yeah, exactly. Yes.
Love it. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of get I mean, you guys already started, but yeah, give us an idea of kind of your roots growing up. I mean, a drama teacher, it makes sense, but yeah, what was your kind of earliest performance experience and earliest memories of wanting to be as like a storyteller or an actress or yeah?
My dad had a camcorder and he would record me and my brother doing really crazy things and making up stories with our stuffed animals and that kind of thing, doing like stop motion and just all like editing right to tape. So I think that's kind of where it started.
Home videos.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Were they
Yeah.
on VHS?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. And Jay, how about you?
I don't know. I was trying to think of this earlier too. What where I sort of fell into art because I played sports mostly when I was a kid.
Okay.
A lot of sports. I played hockey from when I was probably 5 until 14, and then when I was old enough to play football, I played football. I was really into football, and I played that in high school. So that was kind of my life, and I was working out and playing football and just doing that. And I was supposed to go to the States. I had a scholarship to go to the States and play. Then I hurt myself. And I had always been into movies. I did Comtech in high school, and so I made like some movies and stuff in Comtech, and I think that's kind of where I just naturally gravitated towards after I couldn't play football anymore. I was just kind of fell into it. And I'm trying to remember, I remember having like an 8mm film camera. Like my dad had a film camera, and I used to run around with my friends and like pretend to make movies without any film in the cameras. But
Yeah.
I think we probably recorded some stuff if we could get that stuff developed one day, but if it still exists, I don't know. But yeah, I remember that kind of stuff. That would have been like grade 5 or 6. I remember being in the portables at Sherwood Park,
Portables.
running around with a film camera. But it wasn't anything like, obviously not serious, but I mean like there wasn't any storytelling involved in it. It was just whatever. I don't really remember much. Just sort of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just into making films.
We were talking about that in our last one. I think I was trying to think of like first artistic thing, and I didn't really count when I was a kid because I felt like it was just you just do it because you're young and someone tells you, oh, draw a picture. It wasn't, coming from your soul or whatever.
Yeah, you
totally.
don't feel like you're like emotionally invested as a kid. You're just kind of shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
fun.
that was my next question is do you have like people or places or family members that were encouraging of it? And obviously it makes sense if your mom was in drama to begin with. But yeah.
Yeah, funny enough, like in high school, maybe it was because my mom was the teacher, but I I was gravitating more on the music side more, and so I developed. Yeah, me and my best friend Kit developed a band called Aquaman Sunk.
Oh my god!
And it was just like this punk band or whatever, and that was a lot of fun. I just kept with that, I think, and I really don't know if where my head was at was because I was rebelling over doing what my mom was doing or what, but I'm pretty sure like my dad was my hero for a really long time, so I looked up to him more than my mom, and now it's like slowly like it's gone to the other direction, so it's interesting how that happens. Yeah.
What you said, he was a musician, like in what capacity?
Trumpeter. He could play piano. He went to university for music.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah, and then ended up being a sonar scanner. He was like an ROV technician, so it was the complete opposite. Yeah.
So he wasn't working as a musician.
No,
he
he was in some bands like it's called the Rubber Band. He was in. They were doing a lot of covers and that kind of thing. That's where we met my mom. But yeah, I don't know. He just he realized that he couldn't support a family with being a trumpeter, which makes a lot of sense. So he still does it though. Like he still makes. He loves to play all the time, and they live in Mexico now, and he still plays.
They live in Mexico?
They live in Mexico?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Is it like a, here and there? No. Straight Mexico there. All the time.
Yeah, they're gringos now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How often do you visit?
Like once a year.
Okay.
If I can. Yeah.
What a great place to have to visit your parents.
Is. Yeah,
it
amazing. Yeah, for sure.
And Jay, did you have any early influences, like parents, family members, teachers that were encouraging of it?
Well, my parents were always very supportive of everything that I did.
Amazing.
Yeah, which was really nice. My mom is also, she, not at the time when I was growing up, but now she's an author. She writes novels. Yeah, she's got like 4 novels out now or something like that.
Wow.
So that's cool. So the art has always like been in my family in some capacity. But I can't think of anything specific other than that. Like,
sounds like you were both raised with, really supporting all the arts anyway. So that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, so that's always been good.
And how has it changed kind of from then when you were first inspired to like now? Talk to us now about what you're doing. I know we're going to get really into the film stuff, but how has performing changed since you were a kid to now?
At first, I was kind of forced to act for my mother. So it was like something I did not want to do. She would write sketches for the church, and so I would have to perform some of the sketches in front of like a big congregation. Like it was like probably good like 50 to 100 people, and it was like my first. And of course, I screw up the first line, and I was like, I don't want to ever do this again.
Hate this.
Yeah. So complete opposite now. Or like if I screw up, it's kind of like a gift. Like it's funny because now the fact that I'm doing stand up, so that's a whole other thing.
We can't wait to talk about it. I totally relate to that. My daughter Annabelle, I'm like you live in a dance studio, that's what you're gonna do. And there has been times, she goes through kind of dips where she'll have like developmental milestones where she like loves it and she's like, this is great, I'm on top of the world. And then sometimes it's like, it's too much. I don't want to. I want to do anything else. Like, just give me something else to do. I'm like, no, you're a dancer because that's free. I totally can relate to that, and like being on the receiving end of like, come on, like, don't you want to do this? This is fun. What a great opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And then you as the kid are just like, oh, I don't want it. I hate it. Yeah. So I was gonna say, do you remember the first time you stood on a stage or in front of a camera?
Yeah, so that was it. That was the stage.
Yeah.
For camera, it would have been just in front of my dad, like us doing goofy stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I think there was a time where I was doing modeling, like in grade 6.
Holy.
With my cousin Rochelle. And I think like there was a part. I think that thing was recorded at some point, and that was probably the first time where it was like I'm performing in front of a camera.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that was it.
It's cool that you remember that.
Yeah.
Modeling in grade 6, you said?
Yeah.
So young.
Yeah, somewhere after grade 6, going into grade 7. Yeah, we're doing like runway for Zellers.
Come on.
At Fairview Mall.
Did you get free clothes from Zellers?
We did not.
Get matching tracksuits.
Yeah, the full velour tracksuit.
But it was like the first time I was ever paid for my art.
Yeah.
My art, whatever.
Yeah.
If I could call it art. But yeah, it was like $50. And it was like, oh my gosh. And then I got a job at Tim Hortons because
Yeah. You're like, I need $50 over and over again every day.
Yeah. It was like $5.65 an hour at the time.
Ugh, that's crazy though.
Oh, yeah.
Like such a young age. Were your parents like into it?
Yeah, again, like very supportive.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to go model for Zellers? Just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it definitely didn't last long at all, but I think that was like, I guess, my first agent, and yeah, it wasn't, didn't really pay off. No.
I mean, Zellers is back.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited to. I mean, I just want the nostalgic stuff. Like,
Right.
I want
Yeah.
the original.
I want that bear.
Yeah,
I always wanted that bear. My mom would buy it for me.
Yeah.
It was like Teddy Ruxpin of Zellers.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Had the little
want that bear.
Zellers t-shirt on. My mom would not buy it for me. I'm gonna go buy it for myself.
Yeah, or just take a bear from, Goodwill and then put a fake shirt on it.
Zellers shirt on it, right?
Write
Zellers?
Zellers on it with
my
Sharpie.
God. This is happening.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think my first time acting was in your movie.
Yes. So
I don't understand how I saw a clip
I
of
completely
this.
forgot
How
this.
does this still exist?
I think it is on my YouTube channel. Like,
Oh, it's on YouTube.
I think I put it,
Oh,
because I wanted to
Oh,
make sure that
yes.
it was there in case, like, I don't know, my DVD disappeared or something like that. Just in case, it is online.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's Jacob Ackerman and our friend Max in dress. Or no, you were in a dress.
Yeah, it was.
And he was the husband.
Yeah.
And they were just having a quarrel, like, in my kitchen.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I forget. I feel like that was one of the first things that you showed me. It was like our second date. You're like, want to see
Okay.
something cool? I'm like, oh my God,
I love
this is doing
that.
it for me, man.
This
You're
is why,
famous.
and this is why we do it. It makes it excites people so much to be a part of something that
Yeah.
they wouldn't necessarily be a part of unless somebody was like, "Hey, you should do this."
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of why we do what we do.
Yeah, for sure. And I was gonna ask you, like, if you would have went back as a child, and yeah, he identifies himself as like saying, like, I'm super shy. I was shy as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
But I think putting yourself out into those positions, like, it really grows your confidence. That's why I always tell the parents in the dance, because I'm like, as soon as they get on the stage and they're able to put themselves in that role, it's huge. Like,
Yeah.
it grows your confidence, right? Where otherwise you may not have had it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I was thinking about that before, but like props to the church because we really got a lot of opportunities that you wouldn't just in a regular secular
Oh my
household,
gosh.
I guess.
So much
Like
opportunity.
performing
Yeah.
music,
Music.
like
If
playing
you're
with
in the
the
right
band.
church.
Sound, the
If
audio.
you're in
Yeah,
the right
yeah,
church.
true,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Like I learned to do sound at a church, and that was like the biggest sound performances I ever had to do up
Yeah.
until this point. Like,
Yeah,
it
I
was
learned editing,
so
software
many
editing.
people,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
And acting.
And
yeah.
Where are you acting?
well, I started doing videography at Southridge, and that's where I learned how to do like Final Cut Pro and like the proper editing software. From Mike Enns, and that was a great opportunity. And even like at Calvary Church, my mom and her friends like started New Community, which was like the cooler, hipper service where you go in and like they've rehearsed for a whole week, like all the songs they're gonna do, the sketches they're gonna do, and like a video that they developed. Like it was a bunch of basically adults being kids in this space that was like super safe to do that, and nobody could say no because they had to get something done for that week.
Right.
It was just a playground.
So fun.
They didn't even care if it was like the theme was about God. They're
I was
like,
gonna say, were the sketches biblical?
oh my God, like
what
not
were the
even. Like
sketches?
it was just an excuse, to be honest. It was great.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Any, like, when you get into organizations like that, we're going to talk about it because we have a community and you guys are building a kids community. You're providing them with that safe space, right? You're providing them the opportunity to just kind of like grow into themselves, which is amazing. Was there any films growing up that greatly impacted you? If you have like one off the top of your head, or a show that you really liked?
With my comedy, definitely Kids in the Hall. Watching Kids in the Hall, my aunt would
For sure.
show me all the VHSs because I never had cable. So when I went to grandma's house, my aunt had all these VHSs of all the things I would never have experienced, like Kids in the Hall, Mr. Bean, like all the classics, right?
Yeah.
So all basically adults being kids.
Yeah.
Watching adults being kids was
Yeah.
like, very resonating for me for sure.
I just had a moment of that today, actually. I was like setting something up in the basement, knowing that the kids were coming in. They were doing like a summer camp, like the kids are coming in for summer camp. And in my head, I was thinking, I hope none of the parents walk downstairs and see me doing this right now. I was setting up like toys or something for the kids, and I was like, my job is still to be a child.
Yes.
Great.
Yep.
It's so fun, right? You just keep tapping into that energy, and it's that like imagination that kind of works with kids that ends up, I think it takes you everywhere in life. It's great. I feel like a lot of adults lose that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So why don't you tell us about your company? I know we're going to go back up to some of the film work and acting. But yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about Jarico?
Yeah, so Jarico Films for Youth is essentially it's a community that we're trying to build. We're trying to bring people in the Niagara region who are interested in making movies or interested in the film industry in some way, either acting or being behind the camera, and trying to build a community around that, around workshops, events. We have a film festival that we do every spring now. We did our second year this year. We had 30 short films from all over the world play.
Come on.
We had, this year we were very fortunate. We had she's not a little girl anymore, but the little girl from the Florida Project, the movie The Florida Project, Brooklyn Prince, she came to the film festival this year, which was really cool. She's 14 now. She has her own film that she made. She wrote and directed, and she submitted it to our film festival, and
Amazing.
we accepted it before even knowing who she was. And then and then her dad emailed and was like, hey, Brooklyn wants to come to your film festival. I'm like, great, who the heck is Brooklyn? And then I looked it up who it was, and I was kind of like shocked because I'd seen Florida Project. It's one of my favorite movies. It's funny, I saw it in the theater that we screened our films at. So where we had our film festivals, the Performing Arts Center in St. Catharines. So in the nice film building house there. Yeah. So I saw the Florida Project in that theater, and then we showed our movie Fight in that theater during the film festival this year, and she came and watched our movie in that theater. So it was like this really neat sort of like circle thing. Yeah. Which was kind of cool. We do that. We try and we're building the film festival. We want to do more workshops. Erica does acting classes. Right now they're happening every Saturday. But we kind of change them as we go. And then just trying to build community around film and around love of film, and bring people who work in the film industry together to like help bring younger people up. And there's a lot of like training involved that like takes a lot of time. So a lot of times we have, I don't know if Jake told you, we have friends that work in the film industry in Toronto. Yeah. And that's always what they say. They say like they just get like thrown into it, like into sharks, right? And it's just like all at once, and they're not getting like the right training. They might have like went to school and learned the equipment, but the actual on-site training and experience of it is like they said, it's just a nightmare. And I think it comes down to, how much work needs to get involved and what the cost is involved, that everybody that's operating on a project like that is just so fierce and fast that they have no patience and no tolerance for
cost,
anything in their life.
Emotional and actual money.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's also part of the big thing that we're trying to change and we're trying to bring to the film industry is that idea that that we need to be stressed out and put people through the ringer or whatever, be yelling at people on set just because time is money. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And like all for like one person's vision. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make any sense. And so one of the big reasons we started the Films for Youth program, like or really started pushing it or like trying to get it going, was because of this. We had both Eric and I had horrible experiences on a couple of film sets over the last few years, and just realizing what we wanted to change about the film industry and what we wanted to protect people from in terms of the film industry, or not necessarily protect them, but show them how they should be treated on a film set and how a film set should be run, so that when they get into the world, they can see the red flags and they can understand like this is, and then advocate for themselves, right? When they're in those situations, and know that like I don't have to put up with someone screaming at me at an hour before call time.
Right. That's kind of and I get that's why like you did begin it. When did it actually start? When did you guys actually start the company?
So The initial idea was back in, I think, 2016, 2017, and we did a small like workshop program with St. Catherine's Collegiate at that time.
Okay.
We did a short film with some of their students who went in and wrote a short film with them, and then Erica shot a cool little movie that they wrote together called Best Enemies. That was a really fun, cool movie. That was the first sort of iteration of it, and then COVID kind of hit, and that sort of stalled things a little bit. But it was and it was kind of, but it was an opportunity for us to really look at like what it was that we wanted to do, because we didn't really know what we wanted to do with it. It was just sort of this idea that we had, and then once we realized, well, COVID did two things. One, it forced us to kind of stop and reevaluate everything in our lives, really, and like what we were doing and where we were going.
Were you both working in the industry at that time when COVID hit?
I was doing like improv. I did a couple movies because I remember wearing masks during that time too, where it was like okay to still work, but very cautious.
Right.
That sucked. Because in that industry where like it's a lot of communication and you can't see their mouths. It was actually
someone's
like
wearing a mask yelling at you from behind the camera.
It's just extra yelling, basically. Yeah, it was brutal.
Just more yelling.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were operating film? Like you were operating the...
Well, okay, so for basically 10 years, doing movies and stuff was always like a hobby for us. So
you were telling me about
2012, we did A Kind of Wonderful Thing. That was our first movie.
I saw that. I was like creeping you guys, and I'm like, oh, Jacob goes, look, like she's done some stuff. I'm like, there's full brochures, full posters. So I saw that.
Well, that's on Tubi. You can go watch it for free.
Okay, I was asking where we can watch it.
And then so we did that, and then we did Fight, and it's been a struggle, but for the most part, I was doing communications work and marketing and advertising and stuff like that, and we had a little ad agency where we did music videos and commercials and things like that.
Okay.
And then right before COVID hit, we kind of took a step back from that. We lost a big client of ours who was basically 90% of our income, so that kind of forced us to stop and reevaluate. But the one thing that COVID did for the Films for Youth stuff was it made us realize that what we wanted to do was in-person stuff. Like we don't want to do, we might be going that way a little bit now that we have some sort of content to do some online outreach and like do some sort of like programming online as well. But for the most part, we want to bring people together and bring people into spaces where we can, do hands-on learning and actually teach people on a real film set. And so,
sorry, I was just want to like just piggyback on that about how because of COVID, like all these kids have been on the computer doing Zoom for school, right? And so it was definitely even more of a push to do everything to kind of like relearn what it's like to be in person as well, because we've noticed a lot of youth that are very, very mousy at an older age where it's like, I was never like that. Oh, I wonder why. It's because of COVID, right?
They weren't expected to go face to face, show up every day, go to school, do their extracurriculars. Like they were on house arrest essentially for 2 years.
So it ended up. So we do a lot of work with most of the people we work with are high school aged kids. We do a lot of work with Welland Centennial High School.
Oh, cool.
Nowadays,
I was gonna say, where are you guys operating out of?
Out of Welland right now.
In Welland, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
But all of the Niagara region. So she does acting classes out of the Rose City Comedy Collective.
Okay. Which
is a nice little spot. And then, but we also do things like out of the Performing Arts Center in St. Catharines. So we do our film festival there. And then, but where was I going with that? I was going to say something that I can't remember.
Sorry. Just in person and stuff like that.
No, it was after that. Anyways. Doesn't matter.
No, it sounds like a great initiative, and I totally relate. I feel like with the dance studio, we actually during COVID just repositioned ourselves as a daycare.
Okay.
So that we could keep operating. But it was parents were just so grateful for it because coming back, I agree with you. I think kids are a lot more timid than they were pre-pandemic. And so to reintegrate them now to get them off their phones, I don't even know. I mean, we're trying, we're doing our best, but it's really hard. It's hard because they're so used to it now. It's become like so much part of their their daily interactions. They're mainly socializing on their phones.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes it really hard to get them back in person and keep them like attention and motivated.
Yeah.
Do you have a hard time when you're teaching classes?
Sometimes.
Well, that's actually,
like,
that's kind of where I remembered where I was going with that now.
Perfect.
It's like seeing them like, so we did a short film boot camp a couple of years ago where we worked with some kids from Centennial and then some other kids from other schools in the Niagara region. And we got, I think it was like 20 something kids and 20 kids and 20 mentors from the film industry came together for 1 week, and we shot this
like a Big
film.
Brothers thing. That's so fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We shot this short film called Nerd Man, which was like a parody of Birdman.
Okay.
And it took place in the school. We shot it over the course of a week. It was I don't know if you've seen Birdman, but the movie is basically, it's a bunch of one shot, like take shots. So very, very long, continuous takes. And so we did that with high school kids.
Amazing.
And like some takes were like 15 minutes long, and these kids were nailing it every single time. It was
Amazing.
Unbelievable to see these kids go from, like, the process of that was, it was about 2 months of writing with them, with a group of, it started off with about 30 kids, and then it got taken down a little bit as we were going through the process. But seeing them, like, from the first day of going in there being all shy and like not really, they're being all timid and not knowing us and things like that, and then to like seeing them like on set running a film set, like, and just it's incredible to see the change over the course of like a very short amount of time. And that's what I love doing it the most, is seeing them go from, like, they're just standing there, like, don't even know what to do or touch, or like, and like all this chaos going on around them, like, what do I do, where do I go, to like them like literally like running the film set, like quiet on set, and like yelling at people to be quiet, and like, like, we gotta go, pictures up, like, and like it's so cool to see.
The development of the kids. Where did you get the mentors from?
Friends of ours, so people we've met
awesome.
through the last, like, I guess 20, almost 30 years of making movies, right? So yeah, I've been doing this since 2000, so 25 years.
Cool. Yeah, we always say, we talk about opening a performing arts school, and I think in my head I'm like, oh yeah, we could just hire all our friends to come work, right?
Yeah.
So it's great that people are coming out and willing to like work on the project together. It's so nice to see them collaborate like that.
I think that specific project really showed us what happens when people say yes, because all those mentors could have been doing something else, making money, do whatever, right? And so we're just like, we might as well ask. Like, you can't, it's, might as well ask. And so when we did, it's like everyone was saying yes.
Yes, yeah.
And the tech teacher, Michael Krasny, huge help, was basically the producer of the movie, I could say. And just getting all those kids together, all the kids saying yes, and learning their lines, and it's very overwhelming to think about it, how it just came together so well. And again, it was without force.
Yeah.
It was just because we felt so passionate about the project that we really wanted it done. And then of course, the universe or whatever gave us that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because it was all through love,
Yeah. I think you were talking about it earlier, and like and I'm curious to hear about it. I know it's gory, but like your difficult scenarios of like being in the industry and kind of and we hear it all the time from our friends that are in Toronto, but to see a project come together under like a pretense of collaboration, where you're like, this is how it's supposed to happen, right? And it doesn't happen like that in a workplace typically, or an environment, because you do have like the hiring funnel, and you have the people that are, this is your position and I'm on top of you and you're under me. So I think to teach youth especially that like that could be the scenario. It could look like collaboration on a project instead of a top down, like I'm the director and I'm telling you what to do and you're going to put up with whatever I do, tell you what to do, I think is really cool.
You only know what you know, right? And if you see another perspective and go, that's a lot better, I want to be in that bubble, right? It makes the biggest difference to see different ways of doing things.
Yeah.
That's
and
what
you
we
really,
want to be.
I'm sure you guys see this, but like, it's not like the results are ever at stake. That's the craziest part, is that you look at your end product and like it still gets there. So whether it was, you know, all this malicious crap that happened on the other end, like the audience doesn't see that, but it just like leaves, you know, you as a worker, it just ends up being such a bad taste in your mouth for the final result. Versus something like that where you're just like, oh, everyone was so passionate about it.
You want to celebrate it, right?
Yeah, you're just so excited about the project you worked on. So.
Right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're just making movies. Like we are all adults playing make believe, and people are losing their minds over it. Like it makes no sense to me. You're not curing cancer. There's nobody's life is at stake. Like this isn't a war. You're not like this. It's ridiculous.
It's
people
crazy
who get mad at other people. For, you know,
if you don't mind sharing,
you know, the coffee's a little bit late, or like whatever it is. Like I walked in on, well, like this one movie we were doing, this guy screamed at these older people who were doing the catering for this movie, probably voluntarily. Yeah. Doing the catering for this movie, and they brought pancakes one morning for breakfast. We were all living in a hotel, and these people brought pancakes for breakfast, and apparently they put the syrup in the pancakes. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So they didn't bring syrup that day, and this producer, who was already a problem since day one, screamed at them like at the top of his lungs in front of the entire cast and crew, screaming at them because they didn't bring maple syrup. Awful. It was I don't understand what gives somebody the audacity,
I know,
to be that.
And then it's a humanitarian issue, because you're like, do I stand up for them? Do I walk out in solidarity?
Thankfully I wasn't there. Thankfully I was like getting the truck ready or something. I wasn't actually there for that. If I was, I would have made I made a big stink on that movie because of a less important situation than that.
But it became a boiling point.
It became the whole thing. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Anyways, but yeah,
give us the dirt.
Just like, well, to the collaboration thing, right? Like, it's just people say they want to collaborate, but then when it comes down to it, they don't listen to what you have to say, even if it like. The argument that sort of pushed me over the edge, there was a few. So there was the pancake thing, and then there was this same guy. He was also the first assistant director, so he's in charge of the scheduling, and he's in charge of like how the set is run and how like making sure everything is on time.
Oh, okay.
And he had his second AD, so the person who works under him he was this very big, very scary man, just baseline scary. He was also very nice. Like he was very two-faced. He was a very nice person, right? But then if he didn't like you or whatever, he was not very nice.
Okay.
And that's sort of the problem.
Yeah.
And so he had this assistant, or this person who was working under him, and she was like a 21-year-old mousy little girl. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. She was a very cool person, but she was a very small, very smart, timid, very smart person. Yeah. And I think it was like the second or third day he came onto set like screeching tires in his car, slams on the brakes, and this is like an hour before we're supposed to start film, or not even supposed to start filming. It's an hour before call time. And so like what it was because we were shooting in a studio, we would go from the hotel to the studio. We'd have breakfast at the studio like an hour before, and then call time was like say 9 o'clock. So we'd all get there at 8. So he shows up there like 8:15, screaming his head off, kicks in the trailer door. Where's what's her name? Blah blah blah, screaming, like because she's not answering her phone. But it's like an hour before anybody's supposed to even be awake anyways. And so there was that. Then there was a whole thing mix up with like the scheduling that he lost it on her about. There was that. Then the main actress. So in this movie, the movie's about this woman who gets kidnapped, and half the movie takes place. She's in this like dungeon basement. And she wakes up like tied to this bed with a hood on her like face, so she can't see anything. And so she whatever, and then it cuts to black, and then later on she wakes up and she's untied from the bed, and she's supposed to get up, and she sees this like jug of water across this little tiny room on a desk, and she's supposed to get up willingly and like like use the water to like wash herself, like take her shirt off and like wash herself in front of this mirror.
That's obviously
obviously a two-way mirror. If you're being kidnapped and there's a mirror in the room, you know what it's for. Like it's not just logical, right?
Yeah.
But like she's just been kidnapped. She's not going to like willingly take her shirt off for no reason. So the actress comes to me and she's like, does this make any sense to you? And I'm like, no, not really. Like, let's go talk to the director about it and see like if we can just change the
scene,
whatever, make more sense, right? So she just
do something that
she's like, I don't care. She's like, I'll take my shirt off. I don't care. Like that's not the issue. I'll take my shirt off. But that's not the problem. The problem is like I just don't know why I would. Like I've just been kidnapped. I'm not gonna take my shirt off in this dungeon basement.
Yeah.
So we went to the director and he screams at her, that's what I want. That's what's in the goddamn script. And then he storms away. And you're just like, how does that make anybody feel comfortable and want to like act for you?
And then take off your shirt when you say
and then I don't care. That's what I want.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
So then it was her idea. She came up with the idea that like because later in the movie, the killer talks to her through an intercom in the room.
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't he just tell her through the intercom to take your shirt off? Right? And then I'm thinking, and then
that even makes more sense in like the creep factor.
And here's the thing: the director has complete control over everything in the editing room. So if he just wants to not use that part in the editing room, he just doesn't have to use that part.
Right?
Like if you are so adamant about her just taking her damn shirt off, then just cut around the, like, just give the actor a reason to take it, like to be comfortable.
Right.
And like, he just couldn't get that. He just didn't
straight
get
up
it.
Pervert.
So there was that, and I don't even think it's that. Like I don't think that he just couldn't.
It's a control thing.
It's a control thing, and it's he just couldn't wrap his head around something different than what was written in the script.
Yeah,
and that showed again later when. And this was when I really lost it, and I got into a fight with him in the lobby of the hotel because no one's gonna want to work with me after hearing this. But so there's a scene where they're picking her, but this is before she gets kidnapped. Her and her boyfriend, who's like basically her daughter's stepfather now. They haven't gotten married yet. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So they pick up the daughter from school and they get into the car, and in the script the mother and the daughter get into the car and they drive off, and the actor Felipe is the actor's name. He's supposed to be like driving and turning around and talking to the daughter in the back and having this like heart to heart with the daughter in the back seat, and I'm just like,
doesn't make sense in a car.
Well, it doesn't make sense, and like even if it did make sense, and even if it like whatever, it didn't have to be like. Even if it made sense, even if he was like able to do that and drive at the same time, like we couldn't fit 3 actors, a camera operator, a director, an audio person,
in the car,
an assistant or a focus puller, and all of these people in the car at the same time to do this thing, right? We didn't have car mounts or car rigs. We didn't have a process trailer, which is what you normally have. So we couldn't set up lights. There was nothing that I could do. Like my job as the director of photography is just to light the scene.
Right.
I'm not a camera operator. I'm not anything other than that. I just set up lights.
Yeah.
Or I just tell the lights where to go. Okay. Essentially. So I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fine. Take Nick, the camera operator, go shoot the scene. You don't need me for it or whatever. Go do it if this is what you want to do.
You think it's gonna work?
Yeah, you think it's gonna work. And but my problem with it was that it was a massive safety issue. Like you can't have an actor trying to drive and talking to someone in the back seat while there's like all this other stuff going on at the same time. They wanted them
actually to be driving the car?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Right?
I thought they were gonna be like in a car pretending to be like,
No, so.
Oh my god.
So my thought was, well, why don't we just have the conversation play out before he drives off?
Yeah.
And the director lost it. Like he couldn't get he's like, no, it needs to be driving. I'm like, why does it need to be driving? He's like, because that's what it is in the script. And I'm like, but it doesn't make any sense. Like even if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Can't you just take the conversation and move it around?
Yeah. The conversation.
The reason why I wanted details is because I'm trying, in my head, I'm just thinking like, I'm at least, maybe I'm playing devil's advocate to like, how is it that person being in leadership? It's hard. I often will challenge myself and say like, did I deal with that situation well? I was having a bad day too, and somebody came at me and I got defensive and
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard because you need to, I agree with you. You need to be open, and the people that you have in your team are like, that's what you're trying to teach these kids, right? Is that you can be a team and make something beautiful. You can be a team and work on an art project, and it doesn't have to be this like dictatorship and this leadership that's like, but it's hard. It's, you kind of need to, like, right away you were like, oh yeah, we had this tech guy or teacher that came and like really took the reins, and like because he was an educator, he kind of knew how it was supposed to, like, you need leadership, you need that guy that's gonna like call the shots and do the things, but you have to do it diplomatically and not make people, you know, mutiny.
And you want to like be someone that people want to work with and not be put on a blacklist. And somebody to be able to like hear what you're saying and take a step back and be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to think about what you said and I'm going to get back to you or something. Right? And also like if your experiences are people yelling at you, then you think that that's a normal thing and that you should just like toughen it up.
We hear in the film industry, that's all that goes on.
Like put a callus around your heart.
No one talks to them for hours on end, and then they come blazing in, screaming and yelling that they did something wrong. That's literally their entire work experience. So
for the youth that we teach, like when we show them for the first time what a set looks like with love, with safety, with inclusion, and like all these things, and then they go to another set that's a complete opposite, they're gonna be like, this is not good, my stomach hurts, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna get out of this situation.
And what were you acting in this film?
Yes.
That he's describing?
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't a big part of it. Like I was the antagonist, but it was very small. Like it was a big role, but very short time.
Okay.
But for that one, it was just really hard to, like, yes, we were on the same set, and it was hard for me to watch Jay go through this. Very different experiences, because the actors are usually, well, not the one actor wasn't really respected very well, but I was able just to be in the trailer and wait until my part came up or whatever. So I did not experience anything there, but just hearing the stories that were going on around me didn't make me feel safe, and I was like, well, when's my time? Like, is that coming up?
When am I going to be on the hot seat?
But I was more concerned about everybody else. Like, I was like, I feel safe enough, and I was just like, when I hear the other stories, I'm like, I want to just save them. You know what I mean? And it was just, it's such a, like, that was such a great opportunity if they were the right people.
It was
amazing opportunity. So much youth was on that shoot, like doing the stuff for like the first time or whatever, and being put in these like really important roles. And all the camera crew were like amazing, and they were working well together, and they still talk, and they still work together a lot of the times with like freelance and that kind of thing. Like, those were the connections. So despite everyone that was like in the hierarchy in the throne at the top, like, these guys in the pit, like, were having a great time on their own.
We did have a really good time making that movie, I'm not gonna lie. There were just some things that happened that ruined elements of it.
The great experience.
But also, it was an opportunity for us to, or at least myself, to realize like where we needed to go, and the direction
to
we
give you
needed
direction.
to go.
I know. We always talk about that in our mastermind program. Like, it's a group of dance studio owners, and they always talk about that, like having that like motivation, like, what's your why? We always talk about that. How does it, because it's hard. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can attest to this, or you can, let me know I want to talk about your challenges running a company like this, because it's challenging running a community. You say that you don't want to be the dictator, you want to be operating out of love, and then you get some parents come in that are really hard to deal with, right? Or like kids that are hard to deal with. There's always scenarios where it is really like a difficult scenario to deal with a community member.
I think if there's ever a time where like the parents have some issue, it's usually a way deeper issue than what's actually happening. And so it's, pick your battles type thing, but also how can I make the child in this situation like feel safer? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to assume anything. No. But you want to just give all the support, like, as much as you can. Obviously not going, in too deep or whatever, but just letting them know that there's a safe space for them to talk or whatever. Or express themselves.
But I think, like, it's really important to kind of know to keep your direction, right? Keep your mission, like, front of mind, because no matter what industry you're in, it's difficult, but creating a child's community environment it's challenging, right? Has different challenges.
Thankfully we haven't really had those kind of issues yet. I mean, we're still starting out, right? So we're still pretty small. So our community is very small right now. And the people who are involved with what we're doing are very supportive and so we haven't really run into issues like that yet. It's mostly outside people that, and before
stay away from
this,
fake eyelashes and tutus, you'll be fine.
I think with the parents, honestly, we've had a lot of parents involved in what we're doing.
Okay.
So that's even and people, and
So
the kids are developing relationships with their parents.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one Sarah, who was started off in your acting classes, right? So Sarah started off in Erica's acting classes, and her mom Chrissy is now one of our producers. She produces the movies we work on and we do. So so it's pretty cool.
She found a new love for it. And then she took an acting class of mine too. So it was just I had like the parent and the child in my acting class together, and it was just very cool.
How do you decide what you're going to do for your acting classes?
Oh gosh.
Well, that's easy. The format's the same.
Yeah, the format's the same. It's just a matter of like what exactly am I going to specifically teach that day, like about like how to be a villain and what that looks like, or talking about like a romance scene, like how do you deal with that when it's a stranger and that kind of thing, or building tension, like very specific kind of lessons, I guess.
But based off of scenes, right? So it's like a scene study. And so you'll give them a scene a week before that they have to learn that's based on these things that you're talking
so I give
about.
them so I give them the scene a week before, and then they're partnered. And then basically they have 10 minutes to rehearse by themselves, and then they come back and they perform it in front of all of us.
Wow.
And then I give them kind of like feedback, but not about specifically the acting, but about how they got there. So the research of the scene itself, like what did they do to prepare, just so they can figure out what their own tools are to kind of figure out like how they memorize, how they get to certain points, and how to like kind of figure out the A to B basically within the scene.
Have you ever asked your mom for help?
No.
No? Come on. Such a great resource.
Well, she's a theater actor, so it's a little different. Like the format is different.
Yeah.
So it's more of like internalizing as opposed to,
and I guess you only get one shot.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah,
on
for
stage?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I think you two have very differing philosophies on acting and entertainment in general.
Yeah,
like you guys like some of the same things, but I think you guys like a lot of different things.
Yeah, we are very different in that.
You guys are very different.
And again, I've honestly like I had a class maybe 2 years ago that I developed where I don't believe that thing anymore, and so like even I have progressed into a different kind of teacher as well. Like what was an example? Like, going into the villains thing. Like I did a lot of research on how other actors get into that villain role, and it was a lot of like method acting and that kind of thing, or like really embodying that character. But then I thought about it and actually like did a role where I was like a hardcore villain, where I was like, no, I totally don't believe that anymore. And so it feels like I'm slowly evolving into something that I used to be. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So I tell my students, like, I am not the answer. The things that I say are not the only answers. Like you try out the things that I give, and if it works for you, then put that in your actor's tool belt. Like you're the one who decides what works for you.
Totally.
Because a lot of acting coaches have those egos, and that control, like, because they all want to be
my way, do it my way,
and they're all like, yes, like we want to impress you. It's like none of that. We are on the same level. I'm still an actor, still learning. Like we're all on the same level. And I just want to give them like tools that they could use, and we can all play together. And
totally. I've been in so many dance classes where I'm like, I've tried so many things. Like, I'll try 5 different things, and all of a sudden you say something and boom, you can see it. It just like turns on in their brain, and you're like, oh my God, that works. Like I've never used that before. I've never tried it before. Here we go. This is working.
Like,
it's another tool,
finite.
right? Yeah. And it's nice getting into that like consultant role where you are really still learning from your students. Now my kids are like surpassing me. I've been teaching them since they were 3, and I'm like, you're a way better dancer than me. You teach me how to do it, So yeah, I think it's fun to be just around kids, period. So yeah, that was my question, was what makes working with young people so creatively fulfilling?
I think it's like we talked about before about the confidence, like seeing them go from like being so timid and shy to running a set. I also coach my son's football, and I see the same thing in that. It's like I coach like football, and I coached from when he was 6 until now he's 12. Or no, he's not. He's 13. So
you don't want to admit it. You have
quite
a
a few years, yeah. And like we've gone through. Well, I have 2 teenagers. I have a 15-year-old as well.
Okay, so you're already in the teenager club.
Oh yeah. So seeing them like, and so the last 3 years, I also coached with another friend of mine, and we won the championship 3 years in a row. And
Come on.
I'm telling you, these kids, like when they came to us at the beginning of the year, could not throw a football.
Yeah.
And to see them, it's not just me, but it's the system that Max, the guy who I coach with, it's the system that he puts them through. They go from not understanding the rules of the game to the quarterback completely runs the offense. We do not go onto the field. We don't tell them the plays. Like the quarterback by the end of the season, by playoffs, and it's 5 weeks, 6 weeks, by playoffs, they have their the plays on their wristbands, and he's the quarterback, and we're talking like at the time like 10, 11, 12-year-old kids,
right,
running an offensive system on the field by themselves.
So awesome.
And like to see them doing that,
gaining
and
autonomy,
yeah, exactly, and understanding of like a sport like that is very complex, and like why, and it's just, it blows my mind to see how smart these kids are. You know, like I think a lot of people say, you know, like, I don't know, talk about kids being on their phones all the time and stuff like that, and like yes, there is that, and like my kid definitely probably spends more time on his phone and plays video games a lot, and probably more than he should, but then you see things like that and you're just like, they'll be fine. Yeah, they will be fine, right?
And I think it's just the screen time is something that's like, it's just foreign to us, so our generation has like an angst against it, and
I guess, but like I remember when I was like a teenager, I had a Sega Genesis, and I spent days in the summer on that thing playing like Final Fantasy, like,
or watching TV,
like weeks, or watching TV. I watched so many movies and so much TV. It's like, it's no different. It really isn't. It's like,
I know.
And if you have the time, like take your kids out. Like I go try and go to the beach like twice a week now in the summer with the kids, just to get out and just be outside and doing stuff, and you just get the kids are fine.
Yeah, and I think Erica, you brought up a really good point, which I get to see, is when you take yourself out of the equation. So like there's so much like in between time that happens in classes, in a class format. And I think my younger self spent a lot of time feeling uncomfortable if I didn't fill every single space. I wanted to fill every second from the time. I wanted to curate their whole experience. They would come in, hi guys, like, you know, I was romper room, getting down on their level, and like I was curating their whole entire experience from the time they came in and the time they left. And now I've like, as I get older, I'm leaving space and time for them. And I think that's like a really creative, like you were saying, they start to naturally, when you set the scenario for them, when you set the scene for them, when you set the opportunity for them, they start to really like develop autonomy by themselves. And it happens because you're putting them in that environment, and they start to problem solve by themselves.
Yes, problem solving, number one. Oh my gosh, like nowadays
I do so big.
Yeah, I've seen the fact that I've seen both. I've seen kids that are just don't know how to have their own opinion. They're always asking questions like, "Oh, what should I do? What should I do?" And it's like what would you do in this scenario? Like, and so I think with the acting classes, it is like what is working for you and why, and like I'm just very interested. Yeah. And just like everyone is so different. Everyone is so different, especially like with actors and how they do things and that kind of thing. So I'm not going to put them in a box. I'm going to like see where they go with the scene. I'm just excited for what they do with the scene. Totally. Right? Especially if like I've written the scene too. It's like, it's a whole other experience. Like, you're just seeing your drawing like come to life, right? It's just like, and it just becomes a whole different, like, not even story, but just a whole different kind of life.
Yeah.
That through the eyes of these kids, and it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same with the
yeah.
choreography. I give it to them and I'm like, oh my God, I just was playing around to music and look what they did with it. You know? They just like make it come to life. Yeah.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
And it gets on everybody's just, there's no levels. There's absolutely no levels whatsoever. It's just we're all playing together.
Yeah, you use the phrase dojo, which I like. It's
my scene study is not
place.
you're supposed to be imperfect. Like, this is like the training. This is like you go to the gym. It's like that. Like, you're not supposed to be like perfect at doing this. You know what I mean? Like, this is not. It's a place where you get to play and to see what works and see what not works, and it's
so fun.
And the best parts are when things are people make mistakes. Like, it's like amazing. Boom. How can we learn from this, right? And they're excited to learn about it, right? Because they're not scared that they made a mistake. It's like, we're not trying to impress here. We're supposed to be just experiencing what your body is doing because of these lines and that kind of thing. And it's just it's like, what's going to happen, and just a lot of exploring.
I think it's really great for kids too. I'm finding exceedingly that people are just so super sensitive about a lot of things, right? Like, everything's taboo, everything's, no one's tolerant. We're supposed to be operating at this next level of acceptance of each other, but we're simultaneously offended by everything. So I think it is really hard for kids to understand, am I offended or am I supposed to be accepting of everyone's crazy differences, right? So I think you make a really good point. It was like, when they make mistakes is when they learn how to laugh at themselves.
Oh yeah.
And that's so powerful, because at a time right now where they feel confused, they don't know whether they're supposed to be super offended or be super, open to everything, that it gives them those safe spaces to be like, no, like, I wiped out and I fell on the floor and we're all laughing together and it's funny.
And they didn't even think about it. They didn't even question it. That's the level that you want them to be at, where they don't even think about those questions anymore. They're just doing.
Yeah. And then that transitions into their real life, right? Like, that's transformative. When they go and they're hanging out with their friends, they're able to laugh at themselves. They're able to put themselves out there, make mistakes, and not feel bad about it, which, like, I love. And, and it happens on the stage in, like, the dance theater world as well.
And what they don't know is that some other kid is watching them and going, oh, if they're cool with it. Like, you don't know how people are affected. Even by the tiniest little line or whatever it is. Like, we are affecting people at all times, all around us.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun. So tell us about I just want a little more information specifically on your filmmaking process for when they're coming to Jarico. So I know you were talking about your lessons, but when you guys are actually involved in, like, the workshops and the film festival, what's the filmmaking process for kids that might come to your program?
Yeah, I was actually curious too. Does everyone, like, result in a movie?
No. So there's different things that we do. So in terms of the workshops, right now, we're not really doing too many workshops, because ideally what I want to do with that is find people in the film industry. Like Erica right now is doing the scene study, so she specializes in that one thing. Yep. I want to find other people who are interested in also doing the same thing. So, like, a camera operator, someone who can come in and, like, teach, like, a 2-hour course on how to operate a specific camera or something like that, or, like, color correction, someone to come in and do a 2-hour course on color correction. So we've put out feelers for people like that to do stuff like that, but we've sort of we've been very busy with a few productions, so we haven't really been trying to do a lot of that stuff. Also, the film festival was a huge thing this year that kind of took up a lot of time, because it got bigger than it was the first year.
Awesome.
But right now, so basically we over the last 2 years, we've sort of been working with another local filmmaker, Adam Jack, who I've known since I was 21, and we made movies together when we were 21, when I was 21 and he was, I think, 17, and still in high school. And nice. He took a break for a while and just decided to make movies again a couple of years ago, and he made a movie called what was the first one? The Lurker, yeah. And it was very popular. It won a bunch of awards and stuff like that. So then he got a bit of money to do a movie called Jackknife, and that's when he brought us in. Erica stars in it, plays a mother of 2 kids who end up on the run from the law because they accidentally kill someone. And that movie also won a ton of awards and is also on Tubi. It's streaming everywhere, I think, right now.
What's the name of it?
Jackknife.
Oh, Jackknife. Okay, you said that.
So on that movie, we were able to bring in some youth to help out. So two of the kids who play her kids.
Mm-hmm.
Three of the kids who were in the movie came through our program.
Oh, cool.
Some through one way or another. And then when we did, so then after Jackknife was finished and that played at some film festivals and stuff like that, Adam went to LA to show that film, and he ran into an old friend of his, Maddie Carteropol, who is from Stranger Things. And so they were roommates in college, and Adam has this other movie that he wanted to do that Maddie was good to, like, had a role, like it was perfect for one of the roles in it. And so we decided to do that movie next. Erica also stars in that one too. She plays Maddie's husband, and we shot that last September. And
Maddie's wife.
Whatever.
We get it.
Pregnant wife. Yeah. And so we were able, and on that one we were able to bring in, so we met some more people that during that year became part of more of our community. So we had Sarah and Sophia and Jaden come out and help us out on those sets, and they got to actually work on the set, like behind the scenes and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, anytime we have a production happening, we'll put out a call online, usually on our Instagram, at looking for volunteers, or sometimes there's paid opportunities as well. So it depends on what the show is and what it is, and that's been our main focus. Is so whenever we have a production, we invite people out and ask if people are interested in coming and helping out for a couple days, or for a day or an hour or whatever it is, and then the film festival really has been our sort of, or at least my big focus this year, is trying to get that kind of going. And yeah, that was really successful. So yeah,
so fun. It runs like one day, the film festival.
This year was like 4 days.
Holy, so amazing.
So it was the Thursday night we had a bunch of Niagara films play. So there was some from Niagara College, and then some. Well, there was all of Ontario, and then at that night after the screening, we launched a 48-hour film challenge, and we had, I think, 6 teams over the course of the weekend shoot a movie in 48 hours, shoot and edit. And then, so there was that going on during the actual film festival. And then the actual film festival, we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday screenings of 30 short films from all over the world. And we had filmmakers come from Florida, from New York, from LA, come out. And I did live streaming with some filmmakers from, like, one guy was from Portugal. I had a film, and so I did like a live stream with him. We had some Q&As. And then we had like a whole like awards show, which also is online on YouTube. You can go and watch like the awards show and stuff. And we had Jaden and Sarah, who were like two of our students, basically. 2 of our students who like do all of our behind the scenes stuff. They hosted the event, and so that was really cool. So they got to go up and basically host it. It was really neat. It was a lot of fun. And so that was great. So that was good. So then next year we're going to do the same thing. And then I've also loosely sort of launched a new film festival for the fall called the After Dark Film Festival. So it's going to be more B-movie, horror movie, that kind of thing. And submissions for both film festivals are open now. I
was just going to say that. How can people get involved? Yeah, you were mentioning your Instagram.
JaricoFilms.com. Pretty much everything's on our website.
JaricoFilms.com. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. So exciting. All right. I think we're ready for a break.
Taking a break?
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back. Cool.
usually does this part. Yeah, usually.
I feel like you do.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, we're here. Changing roles. We're here talking to Erica Sherwood and Jay Lupish. I'm saying it right?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, they are from Jarico Films for Youth. So yeah, we've been talking all about the community that they are creating around the film and the film industry. Such a refreshing view on creating a community, especially for kids and especially in the film industry. So yeah, coming back, we are just going to talk to Erica a little bit about her stand-up that she's been working on. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about Nestor and how you got the idea for him.
Okay, Nestor is a character that I developed kind of naturally, to be honest. So when I was younger, I used to do the upper lip sticky thing and the bottom lip to act like a donkey. And that was kind of like the most ridiculous thing I ever did as a kid, and just be really loud and just very annoying to my friends. And then much later on, because it was like that was my skill. Like that's what I had to show
my party
for.
trick.
Yeah, my party trick, exactly. Yeah. And then obviously I didn't do it for a very long time, and then me, Jay, and our friend Paul and Mickey started this sketch comedy thing, and yeah, made a lot of really cool sketches and short films and that kind of thing, all comedy. But there was this short film that we did called it was a dating one where it was The Breakup. It was called The Breakup, and me and Paul he was trying to break up with me, but I kept like making fun of how he was doing it. I was like, you're not doing this right. Like what word are you using? Like what? Anyway, it was like, this was the sketch. Yeah. And then later we keep filming because obviously like we're getting all goofy and doing a lot of improv or whatever. And then we're pretending that we're on a date, and I put my lip up, and then I just all of a sudden this voice comes out and this attitude that was just very muted, very kind of somber and sad, but very just without emotion. Okay. And the questions that he was asking and the answers that it was coming out of my mouth was just so, I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't even thinking. And he was just laughing so hard. And it was hard for me to really make Paul laugh and kind of catch him off guard, because he's usually the really funny one and I'm usually the straight character. Yeah. So, and it felt really good to hear him laugh. And I just kept doing that character after that. We would film every Tuesday. We'd film a short film together, just a random sketch. Even if it was like 5 seconds long, we would still do it and just get together every Tuesday and do something. It was like, nice. Yeah, during COVID too, we did it too. And yeah, so while we were just goofing around and, drinking and having a good time or whatever, Nestor would come out and like do a little dance or whatever. And like I was slowly developing this character. I didn't even realize that it was happening. Yeah. It was just something that I liked to do, and it made everybody laugh. So I was just doing it. And then later on, Rose City Comedy Collective started teaching stand-up classes. Okay. And that was very close to home. And Jay was helping out with the filming and that kind of thing, but he decided to do the stand-up class because
you were taking it.
I took the first class that he did, so it was like 6 of us in that class, and I took it. I love comedy. Yeah. I love stand-up comedy. I've been obsessed with it since I was in high school, since I was a kid, really. And so I've always been obsessed with it, but I never wanted to perform. I hate going on stage. I don't like being in front of the camera. I just don't like it. Yeah. But I took the class because I wanted to just learn how to write jokes better, and just because we do a lot of sketch stuff. And so I just wanted to learn how to write better and just go through that process. And then we did the class, and then like a week before, he's like, "Oh no, you guys are getting up and you're going to perform in front of 100 people." And I'm like, "No."
100 people?
Yeah, it was like, well, maybe not. It was 50. Probably like 50 people. It was a sold out crowd at Black Sheep. It was the first time they'd ever done it. And it was a show that he was doing called Laughs and Lattes. Like he had been doing the show for a while, but he had been bringing in comics from like Hamilton and Toronto and stuff like that to fill out the show. Right.
He's like, we need some local talent.
Yeah, and so, well, that's the thing. Like, so he's doing kind of what we're doing for film. He's doing for comedy. He's trying to build a community in Welland around stand-up comedy and that sort of thing. And so, so I took the class, and it was a lot of fun. And then I found out I had to actually go on stage and perform it, which was a nightmare. But thankfully nobody filmed
Did
it.
you obviously you went and watch?
Thankfully no one filmed it.
You didn't?
I couldn't be there.
She was filming that day.
Yeah.
So she didn't get to see it. Nobody filmed it. So I had to perform it just for her in my kitchen later that night. But it was weird because like there was literally like 5 people there sitting front row who were there to see me, like 5 of my friends, including my mom, and not one of them recorded it for her. I was kind of mad. Anyways, so then that's when I decided I was going to record all of the shows from that point on, and so so since then we've been involved in re-record all of the shows, so anyone who takes the class also gets a recording of their show.
Perfect.
Or
Yeah,
their
they can use it for
performance.
Oh, that's
promo.
awesome.
It's imperative at this point.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just but I think mostly Kelly uses it for feedback. Really, like they watch it back in class and then they critique themselves and they talk about what they did wrong or what they did right and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, because not many of them actually use it.
Some do,
it's weird.
but
Some
not a lot.
put them up, but a lot of them don't
The
actually
people
put
that
them online.
keep going,
Yeah.
definitely use this stuff.
Yeah,
I
because
don't-
it's good
Yeah.
opportunity. Like that's what you can show people, right? You need to
Yeah.
build a portfolio. I was talking to someone
Yeah.
recently about that. They were just saying like, oh, I have like a printed out portfolio. As an actor, I was like, why don't you just put it on your Instagram? And she was like, I don't like Instagram. I'm like, well, you better get used to it. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna knock on people's door and go, look.
literally, she's sending emails
Yeah,
of like just
yeah.
giving like headshots or like video files of like stuff that she's done. And I'm like, just put it on your Instagram.
I'm
Like,
interested to know what goes through that person's head. I'm very interested in that. Yeah, that person's philosophy with.
Yeah, she was just like, oh, it's too much of a time sucker and it's a privacy issue, and
Okay.
like, she
Yeah,
had
that's
she had
fair.
normal concerns about social media, but in my head I was like, oh, it just makes it so much easier for people
Yeah.
to like go on and see your stuff, right,
Yeah.
and like see your work. So yeah, it's hard.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
go ahead.
so after he did it, I was very curious to figure out how Kelly teaches this class, because obviously as a teacher, it's just nice to hear how people, and I know that Kelly is such a warm-hearted person, and I was really curious, and it was just like something that terrified me to do stand-up, because I've always been a dramatic actor ever since I can remember.
Right.
Yet my child, like my inner child, is so goofy.
Right.
Like, so goofy that I lost friends from it. You know what I mean? Like I was too extreme for people, and so I had to like dumb it down in high school. But anyway, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to see if I can be funny, because it feels so good when you make people laugh. Like it's, oh my gosh, it's the most purest feeling in the world.
Yeah.
And so universal. So anyway, so I went to the class. I did the level 1 class, and I had to perform, and I did it just as me. And experiences as an actor, and being like, an unemployed actor, and what that's like, and blah blah blah. And it was like 12 minutes. It was like a 12-minute set or whatever.
You had to just write it like as a stand-up.
Yeah, it was like a
script.
5-week. It was like a 5-week thing, and I was easy when it came to the memorization, because I've memorized so many things, right? So that was an easy part, but. I was like, okay, like I've performed in front of people, like that's not a big deal, but it's like, are my things going to land with people? Like, this is scary.
Am I funny?
Yeah, am I funny?
Yeah.
And so I did it, and there was some laughs here or there, and it was a great experience, but honestly, it felt like more work than play. Like it felt uncomfortable. Like it felt like more of like something I had to do or checked it off a list. I was like, I didn't really like the journey very much. And then I was like,
It's a lot of pressure,
because
right?
I'm
You're
an actor and I like to
nervous.
be other people. What am I doing? So I kept going to like the open mics and stuff like that, and I still wasn't feeling it. Like I was enjoying watching other people grow and like, get funnier and funnier. And like I loved, like, everybody has their own unique perspective, and so that's why stand-up comedy is so great, because it's all just like brutal honesty, right?
Yeah.
So watching all these things, and then there was this one day where I went to an open mic, and I was like, I'm just gonna do random like an hour before, I started just writing stuff that Nestor would say, like really strange things, or like weird lists that Nestor would have. Like, what if I had a calendar, what would I want in the calendar, as opposed to like I used to collect sexy calendars, but they're not sexy anymore to me because I'm so used to them. So I'm gonna make what I think is sexy in the calendar. So it's like a random lists that I would have that it's kind of like just I wrote it so quickly and it was so easy to write. Like it was like I didn't have any thinking. I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And then I showed up and I did like some of these really weird jokes as Nestor, just with the lip up and like just everything else I wore normally.
Yeah.
And I was getting like really good laughs and like I loved the responses with Nestor. I'm like, okay, I think I feel good up here.
Something.
It felt like play. It felt like when I was younger and whatever, right? So that's kind of where that started. And I just kept going and I was just getting more people interested in what I was doing and like completely forgetting that I do other things, but everybody's like so focused on Nestor. I'm like, okay, I got to keep going through this like on this journey because like I don't want to stop it. This train has done its own thing.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know.
When did it start?
2023.
Okay.
Like the end of 2023, I think. Yeah.
Cool. And what's your writing process for that? Like you said, it was spontaneous that first time, but is it still like that? Or you sit down and you're like, I'm going to write, stuff about Nestor, or write stories about it?
I think a lot of stand-up comics do this where they're just keeping their ears open to really silly things or words that wouldn't make sense. So I think with Nestor, it's like the perspective of like the naive, alien that's come down to earth type feeling where it's like, why would they do that? And like kind of turning it around and twisting it and like trying to figure out like the weird things that humans do and why, and the things that humans do that they don't think is weird, but this person does, and like really questions it.
Right.
So it's like this very vulnerable but wants answers, but it's kind of naive about this certain subject, so it's funny. Just a different kind of perspective on life in general.
Yeah. So fun.
Yeah.
We've seen you've been doing some shows lately. Do you want to talk about like the different shows that you're doing now? Because you're headlining. This is big.
So I headlined for the first time at Taps Brew House 2 Tuesdays ago.
Yeah.
So I've done a few just 7-minute shows there, like maybe two to three shows before that, and then I was like, I really need to headline now. Like everybody's headlining, and I think it's time that because I had enough material to do a headlining gig.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
So it's gonna be like 25 to 30 minutes, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is totally because I've been doing so many open mics at that point that I know my stuff so well that I could easily intertwine things and find transitions and that kind of thing. But I was like, okay, why am I doing this? How did it start? Kids in the Hall. So Kids in the Hall really influenced what I wanted to do with my headlining set, which was to bring a bass player in to play bass while I'm doing my set. So I decided to do 2 acts. One was where I'm I'm in grade 4 and I'm doing the class speech on the invention of capes. So that's one. And then the second act was just about dating and how I can't find love. So I got my friend of the family's, Bruce Chambers, to do the bass, who is just a local legend in my opinion. A really great bass player and such a great guy. And I always wanted to work with him somehow. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course I'm going to get Bruce to do this. So we did a couple rehearsals and we kind of found like the beats where he stops playing and then plays again. And oh my gosh, it was just so much fun. Just the process. Yeah. I think as long as you're enjoying the process of something, it really doesn't matter kind of like what the finish line is. And that's the most important thing. And I was feeling that through the whole thing. Yeah. So the finish line was like, it was really, really good. It was a really, really great experience to like share it. And I wish there was more people in the room because it was not just because of the time that I spent like putting it together, but because I was so proud of it, So I'm hoping that I'm able to do it again. And luckily Jay recorded it. So I have proof of this really great experience.
Good. Yeah.
So yeah, it felt really, really good. And obviously my confidence is much higher. And I hope that Nestor will just keep going.
Keep growing. Yeah. I think it is a really unique perspective for, I'm going to be as sensitive as I can on this topic, but I think I'm dealing with kids. I'm seeing kids come through my door every day that are neurodivergent, and they are not thinking the way I've seen any other kid think before, and they're coming in by the droves. So I think that seeing it on a stage, or being able for kids to be able, or parents that are watching you that relate because their child is thinking in a really diverse and different way. I think again, it comes back to that, like, let's laugh at it because it is funny and they're laughing, right? Like it doesn't have to be this like, don't have to be sensitive about it. It's great that we all think differently and we all have these different perspectives, and it is funny.
And they're able to laugh at themselves because of what they're hearing. They're like, oh my God, I feel so seen. Ha ha ha. Right?
Yeah. Like I totally think that way. Yeah. So I think it's at a great time where we're seeing more and more of like different, you know, consciousness and different mindfulness, that like you're seeing characters like this. It makes it easier for everyone around us to be digesting what's happening in our society.
Yes.
So that's
especially at a time like this. And definitely comedy is, it helps so much.
I
definitely.
know.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I agree. Like we've just been obsessed with stand up forever. Like, we're so into it.
Yeah.
And it comes from like people's really natural storytelling, which is so fun too.
And just finding the honesty in life and just expressing certain ways of how you would see a certain topic or whatever. Like, it's just so freeing. You're literally standing in front of a bunch of people and you get to everybody's on you and they're looking at you, and it's like a speech. It's like,
it is like a speech.
You know, it's, you know, you're not a president or whatever, but you're like, you're not even necessarily influencing people. You're just making them laugh.
Yeah. Well, that's a great influence. I feel like that's the best way to influence people, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
Making them feel better about their shit they're in.
Yeah,
Whatever
exactly.
shit they're in, you know, they can like find
don't take
a release.
life too seriously.
Yeah, they can find a release for it. Mm-hmm. Cool. Do you have stuff lined up to go forward?
Yeah, there's the Garden City plug. Garden City Festival happening in August. David Green is putting it on, so I get to Nestor gets to perform with a bunch of people that Nestor started with, like at Rose City Comedy Collective. So there's a lot of like the originals that are going out, and we're all doing the same open mics and that kind of thing. So it's a whole other community that we're all watching each other thrive, and it's really incredible. So I'm doing that. I'm looking for more contests and competitions to do. I think that would be really fun. Apparently summer is very slow for stand-up comedy, so I'm keeping that in mind. But yeah, just getting myself out there. I want to do more stuff in Toronto. I haven't done anything in Toronto yet. My furthest I've gone is like, you know, Oakville or whatever. So
we have a couple comedy clubs in St. Catharines, right, that we've gone to?
Yeah.
So Spotlight, I've played a bunch of times.
Okay.
The Comedy Carnival, I've done a few times, and I won $50 for being the audience favorite or whatever, which felt really good. I was like, oh, I got made $50. Yeah, and there's a whole video of Nestor talking about it. But
amazing. Winning the money?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. How do you pick outfits?
Well,
is it in your own repertoire, or do you like
I have a bunch of robes, I have a bunch of boxers.
My underwear drawer.
Yes, I am wearing Shay's underwear.
She wears my underwear on stage.
I wear his boxers. So there's so there's the slippers that I always wear, and then the boxers, and then different robes depending on the occasion. And depending on the ears, I have 3 different pairs of ears that are different occasions. So there's ones that are like white, and then I have like a tuxedo shirt that sometimes I wear, but with the robe. So I keep it classy.
Right.
That was at Greg Fruin Theater. That was my biggest audience.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, so that was for the Comedy for Kidneys that Mark Matthews put on, and oh my gosh, to hear that much laughter at you is incredible.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was insane.
Yeah. It's a sweet venue.
Yeah, really sweet venue.
Yeah.
That was a very overwhelming and beautiful time. But so for that I wore my white ears nice and clean.
Amazing.
But definitely walking out there. I just love the comparison with all those other comics, like all these seasoned comics that went out and have been doing like Vegas and whatever, blah blah blah, and they're doing there, and all of a sudden this like rabbit from Welland comes out with a robe, and it's like, who is this, right? I just love that contrast, and I love what Nestor does with just being a completely different entity than what everybody else has seen. Yeah.
I think it's such a good time right now for stand-up too, because they're like, I think for a long time it really was only in clubs, and now it is becoming like exceedingly more like being filmed and being like, you know, you see it all over Netflix now. There obviously is a demand for it, so I think it's a really great time where you can kind of cross over your 2 talents, right? Where it can be like stand up on film, and there are opportunities now where you can put it on.
And here's a segue. Platforms. So we are developing a short mini series about Nestor.
Yes.
That we're gonna film. And we have someone who's been a student of mine, as well as someone who's worked on crew with us as well, Eden Kennedy, who's going to help us film it, and we want to see what she would do with it. So yeah, just another opportunity for you.
She's gonna do some of the filming.
I kind of want her to take over the visual side of it to see
Perfect.
what her eye sees. Yeah. So we're writing it right now, and then we'll get it more into post or production.
That's awesome.
Oh, so fun. We can't wait to come watch. Awesome. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us
Thanks
today
for having
on the
us.
podcast. It was so much fun. And we'll stay tuned. Check out their website, jaricofilms.com.
Yeah, JARICO films.com.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and you'll never miss a podcast.
Yeah, good night.